So the 2008 season, your first full season back in New Orleans, 56 wins. It's the best season in Hornets Pelicans history to this day. You said that there was kind of a symbolism of bringing the city back together, giving them hope. Not to discredit, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. I think Chris Paul probably wins that MVP if Kobe didn't have 0 MVPs at that time. Speak to us about how good Chris Paul was. I think that's his probably 4th year in the league or 3rd year in the league. He's incredible. The kind of dual pick and roll that he had with Tyson at the rim and then popping with you. How good was Chris Paul? And we see today kind of the death of the true point guard, but that dude epitomizes that to the fullest. He was nasty that year. So give us a couple minutes on how good Chris Paul was and what your relationship was like with him.
Yeah, like I said, I knew C before he came to the Hornets. And, Coach Prosser was super high on him, just loved him to death and felt like he was one of the – he's like, he used to say, Davey, he's gonna change things for you guys. I'm telling you. And I say, Coach, I hope so, man. We're trying to win, trying to get better. But, when C came in, he just had that youthful energy. Probably one of the before, obviously the NBA seasons, it takes a toll on you. But, his first 2 years, I don't think I've ever played with somebody that fast. He had so many tricks and, there's one thing I've never seen another guy do this ever. And it might be hard for me to explain it, but just imagine you're dribbling the ball and he's chasing you. He would tap you on the opposite side to make you think that's where he was. And as soon as you switch the ball to that hand, he would take it. Unbelievable, man. Yeah. Never seen anybody do it. Yeah. To this day, I haven't seen guys been able to pull it off. And he did it multiple times his rookie year. And then obviously, the NBA gets hip to it. So, nobody's playing around with him anymore in that way. But he just came in the league with a determination to play, to compete, to not let his size be a factor. He was in practice every day. We had to, we were young and, again, I was in my 3rd year, but this was like my first full-time year as a starter, somebody who was going to be counted on. So we had to learn how to practice, even when, Coach Scott was kicking our butts. We had to figure out how to get through it and then be able to perform in the games. And CP just bought in from day one. Like there was a certain way that coach wanted us to play, which was fast. We did some of the Princeton stuff, but more so he was like, let's get 35, 40 pick and rolls in a game, which was a lot then. And then we just kept up in the ante, more and more every time, especially as he gave Chris more freedom. He gave Chris more freedom to be the leader on offense.
Does Chris Paul, should he be brought up in that kind of tier A point guard defender conversation with the likes of a Gary Payton and a Jason Kidd? Because accolades wise, he's right there with him.
Yeah, definitely. And it was the way he was doing it. He was doing getting passing lane steals on the ball. So he'd be guarding the ball. Crazy. He was fast enough that a guy would pass the ball and he could get in the passing lane from on the ball and steal it like he was an off-ball defender. So, and then he also, he's very competitive. And so his competitiveness kept him in the fight against bigger guards, kept him in the fight when teams were, because at one point folks were saying, he can't shoot, so make him go under. Then he can knock down that mid-range pretty proficiently as well. So, what he was and who he was, right, ultimately put him at the upper echelon of the point guard position. And he made everybody, when you were on the floor with him, his only thing was, right, he was an assist hunter. Like CP hunted assists. So you want to play with a guy that's looking to hunt, to make passes, to get guys open shots.